Hey everybody, this is a new LEGO set based on Star Wars Rebels, the TV show, and let's just be honest from the start. There are a lot of Star Wars fans who don't care much about or for Star Wars Rebels, partly because there's not a lot of stuff in it that's very familiar. However, both of these things here, these major builds, are very familiar. This is Darth Vader's TIE Advanced X1, and this is an A-Wing, but a slightly different variant of it than we've seen previously in the cinematic universe. The TIE here, I can tell you, is a really nice build, and they actually sacrificed size a little bit versus the previous minifig scaled rendition to add more parts into it, so it's actually more complex. It's just a little bit shorter than the previous one, shorter by about 2 studs in total, and it's not quite as wide, but I feel like the shape is pretty good. It's still got the most important aspects of the shape with the rear of the fuselage there. A lot of greebling on the inside. I'll show you what I dislike about this though. Most of it, to me, makes me just happy. I very much like the TIE Advanced and have liked it very much for about 20 years now, since I first played against it in the original Star Wars X-Wing game that I probably talk about a little bit too much. But what I don't like here is the use of the round inverted tiles. They're important, they're needed. I'm not sure if LEGO has anything in its parts inventory that would have worked better there, but I just don't like the looks of those. They kind of break up the general geometry. You know, they're just so round and so obvious on both sides that it just doesn't make me happy. Just those right there. Everything else though, pretty good. Access to the cockpit is just a little bit limited, but you can open up not only the top but also the front, so that helps quite a bit. The flight yoke there, which is a smart use of a battle droid body piece, you can pull that down towards you to get easier access to the figure inside, and you can place Vader in there and he looks pretty good. You know, it looks like he's at the right angle. You're kind of looking up at his head there. That's what you want to see. And I'm happy that he is not attached with any studs in there, and that makes it much easier to get him in and out. He just kind of sticks his feet in between the center divide on this 1x2 panel piece, and they've got a little bit of shaping in there so it doesn't look too boring if you open it up. This model does have spring-loaded shooters built into it, but I feel like they are integrated well into the fuselage of the thing, so they really don't detract from the look whatsoever. I almost wouldn't notice that they're the real working things until I turn it upside down like this, where you can actually see the tails of them sticking out. But from most angles, you're not even going to see those tails sticking out. You know, they're mostly hidden. Now you can touch those directly from underneath to shoot them off, or you can use this nice remote firing feature with these two the black Technic beam pieces, which act as buttons. So you push on one of those and it will shoot off the corresponding projectile for that side. That's also pretty nicely integrated. Happy with that. A couple of stickers on the top and the center, sides, a little bit in the back. You know, they did what they needed to get a little extra look of detail in there, but the action feature is definitely integrated well. If you were a particularly serious fan of the A-Wing from Return of the Jedi, this slightly different design may be a little bit revolting to you, and I can understand that. Fortunately, it's not too different. It's still very recognizable. It definitely looks like an evolutionary step along the development of the A-Wing starfighter we eventually saw in Return of the Jedi, and this LEGO model definitely does look like what they developed for the Rebels TV show, including getting the nicely angled vanes back here. You got, just kind of integration of the engine pods in there. These are new pieces, the vane pieces themselves, which are just repeated, so 4 of them are identical. You can see that they are attached here right side up, here upside down, and it looks nice. They've got the ability to rotate the cannons over here, which I've learned recently is canon. It's real, it's proper, even though it wasn't used in my favorite games from the X-Wing series. But yeah, that is correct. They did the right thing there. They got a lot of the colors in here, just like you'll see in the Rebels show. I think that overall, this is a nice representation. It has some big surprises in it, some completely unexpected things, at least for me. First of all, the vanes on the back can rotate up. So you can take this into a landed mode like this. That is just not right to me. That's, I just can't, I can't deal with it. I can't do it. Not Lego's fault. I can't blame Disney either. I am biased. I'm telling you right now, I am just completely biased. I don't want to see it like this. Fortunately, I don't ever have to see it like that. I can just see it like that. But they do have this option there if you do want to fold them up. Another thing that can be folded up, gear. Nose gear, main gear, fully retracting. Well, very close to fully retracting, and that's great. That's something that we've not seen from a Lego A-Wing. It's something that you don't even see in many larger ships frequently. And this is well integrated, well implemented. It's fairly simple, but I appreciate it oh so very, very much. Yes, this makes the thing feel more swishable, makes it feel like it's not getting ready to land. Another thing that's integrated here, spring-loaded shooters. Once again, these are integrated in very, very close, completely buried in the fuselage. You don't see the tails of the projectiles there at all. You also do not and will not see any button to push to cause those to be shot. This is crazy right here. Look at this. The entire center section moves back. Look at this. All this moves back. That's what the rubber band is all about under there. So all of this moves back. That's what's holding it there, including what holds the projectiles. And they just hit a couple of triggers inside of there. You pull it back far enough and one of them shoots off. Keep pulling and the other one will shoot off. I've been asking them, so many of us have been asking them, don't show us the play features, don't show us the action features with the working shooters of various types if it's going to make the model look worse. And what they've done here is integrated in so far, so deeply that you don't see it at all. I mean, those easily could have been just Baraki eyepieces there on the front. So major, massive kudos to the designer for this. Thank you for listening to us. You have done something amazing. Really thinking outside of the box with that firing mechanism too. But yeah, this is good. Cockpit, same piece that's been in use for quite some time. There's a bit of a gap between the hands of the pilot and the console section, but it needs to have room for all that to slide forward and back for the firing mechanism. And that's just a sticker up there in the front. The figures here are obviously Darth Vader on the left. This is supposed to be Grand Moff Tarkin himself. This is Sabine, and the A-Wing pilot over here on the right is unnamed and intended to be relatively generic, though I believe you could line her up with a specific character in the show. Vader is still using the newer mold for his helmet. Of course, they're not going to go back to the older one. There will forever be a ton of folks who will dislike this one versus the old one simply because it's different, and we had the old one for so long. Even though if you can look at it objectively, if you can force yourself, it is more accurate, far more accurate to the in-universe and actual movie prop items than the old mold. You know, goes either way. There's always going to be some nostalgia there. I think that all of these figures look pretty good. Moff Tarkin has just it's kind of a strange thickness to me of the lines, the crease lines going through his torso there. I wish that those were just slightly thinner. They don't quite look right for the modern style that Lego uses. Like for instance, you can see much thinner lines used in the vest for flight suit underneath the vest, I should say, for the A-Wing pilot there, and a little bit in the vest itself. Hey, this A-Wing pilot helmet, I love it. I love it. It's great. It's got great detailing all around it. Lego just keeps doing a phenomenal job with their specialized printed helmets. Lots of different colors, really fine printing in there. Good stuff. 3 of these get alternate faces, which are useful. Of course, there's printing on the back of Darth Vader's torso. This is the newer style of cape, so I can do that, and it doesn't get creased up, and it doesn't want to stay. Printing on the back of Darth Vader's head there, and it's a Head that's based in white with a little bit of flesh tone just around the eyes. Very small little bit of smile. It's a little bit odd to me. Doesn't look right. I feel like they've kind of gone back and forth between different styles, and we'll have to see what it looks like in Rebels, but I feel like they could have just stuck with something from the regular cinematic universe as far as the styling that they did here. They need to choose. Is he white-skinned? Is he gray-skinned? Is he tan-skinned? Choose one. Objectively, there is a lot of good stuff going on with this set right here. Subjectively, I have issues with it. Part of it is just the unfamiliarity of design changes made specifically for Rebels, and again, that's not LEGO's fault at all. A couple little things with specific part choices that are a little bit awkward to me, nothing too major. The price to part ratio is, again, a little bit on the high side, but it's nothing to really complain about that much. It's nothing fantastic, it's nothing outstanding in a bad way, but the price to volume of stuff ratio that I frequently quote is a little bit tough to handle, and that's what a lot of people have already responded to since the first pictures of this thing were leaked online, is that it seems like you're not getting a lot of stuff here. And I completely understand that. The builds are fairly small. It is a conscious choice on the part of LEGO to make things more detailed, to make things have more functions, to make things more believable, more realistic, more accurate compared to older generations. But in the end, we consumers do care about how much that we're looking at as well. The price is tough to mentally reconcile with just what you see in front of you here, at least for many people, myself included. Let me know what you think about the value and the price of this set. And aside from that, just forget about the cost. Just what do you think about the build? How well they did the A-Wing here, not relative to the Return of the Jedi version, but relative to the source material from Rebels. And what do you think of this version of the TIE Advanced compared to the previous version and compared to what you've seen for Rebels once again? I look forward to hearing more thoughts and more opinions from more of you, so thank you in advance for your feedback. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.